Disney's Magical Quest is a platform game trilogy released by Capcom from 1992 to 1995. The games star Mickey Mouse and then later on with Minnie Mouse as well as with Donald Duck respectively as they journey along strange worlds trying to defeat Pete, who happens to be the ruler of the worlds they come across in these three games. Why didn't they ever make more of these games? They apparently just stopped making more after making 3, and it seems like a very missed opportunity, since these games really had a touch of quality in them in terms of its game design, story, and overall gameplay. Despite never having finished playing any of these games, I've known about them very vaguely for as long as I could remember. It always just seemed to be the kind of memory that lived in your head rent-free. So a few weeks ago, I looked back on these games, and here's what I discovered about each of them. The Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse. I finished this game just within an hour or so. It was a very quick game. It only had about 5 or 6 stages, called worlds. Each individual world or stage consists of 4 segments, much like that of the worlds in Super Mario Bros. You start out as the regular Mickey Mouse that everybody knows and loves, and once you progress through the game, you are given a new set of clothes to wear that will help you in dealing with the obstacles you'll face as the journey progresses. The game starts with Mickey and his pals playing a game of catch, while Pluto joins along very happily. Pluto suddenly runs off to one side, and eventually Mickey runs off as well, to go and find his pet dog. Mickey falls off a cliff, sending him to a very strange and mysterious land. You are greeted by a wise old sage, who tells you not to go any further to find your lost dog because the emperor of this land, Emperor Pete, seems to have dominion over this strange land, and that he most probably has Mickey's dog at this point already. Mickey goes on to say that he's not gonna stop looking for his pet dog, and the wise old sage eventually lets him pass through his small house. After managing to get to the next level, the wise old sage is there to greet you again, and gives you a sort of genie outfit that will grant you magical powers that you could use to fend off the strange creatures found in the strange lands. It also gives you the ability to breathe underwater for as long as you like. This ability is only convenient for one specific stage, and is never really utilized as much in the latter stages or worlds of the game. There's a segment in the game where you get to ride magic carpets that descend depending on where you're facing, similar to the magic carpet from Aladdin, which is also a Disney property. This would have been a better feature for the genie outfit, rather than the underwater breathing ability, but this kind of nitpicking is made irrelevant once you've successfully beaten this game. More on that later. The second outfit you get is that of a fireman outfit. It is made available to you once you've reached the 3rd level of the game. You are granted the ability to use a fire hose that you'll then use to shoot water towards enemies, and also for pushing blocks out of the way, which will also help you get to a certain spot that may or may not contain special items like coins, an extra heart, or items that will help you recharge your outfit's stamina bar. The fireman outfit, to me, was the most efficient outfit of the available 3, which leads us to the 3rd outfit, the mountain climbing gear, or as I like to call it, the Spider-Man ripoff. It literally allows Mickey to grab onto ledges or higher platforms, or just those awkwardly placed circular objects floating all around the place, and also the magical blocks provided by the wise old sage we saw from earlier. By the way, why does the old sage greet us only 2 times in the game? The first when we see him in that house back in the 1st level, and then when he gives us the magical turban. For a character who's made himself relevant to the first 2 levels of the game, providing you with the goal of the story and an item to help you progress in the story, he is never to be seen again within the next following stages. Why is that? Where did he go all of a sudden? Did he just decide to stay put at the 2nd world while Mickey tries to find his lost dog? Was he actually the one who placed that fireman outfit in that breakable glass in World 3 and conjured up the mountain climbing gear to Goofy so that he will give it to you once you get to the 4th level, since that outfit is clearly made for mouse-sized individuals? And why does Goofy moonwalk his way out once he's given you the 3rd outfit? That's just so weird. Once you get to Pete's castle, you go through several segments and fight off his henchmen. And once you've gotten yourself to the 4th segment of the last stage, you are greeted by Emperor Pete, who's fashioned himself a strange robe and is wearing a horned crown. And also he's got magical powers that he uses against you. If you use the genie outfit, you'll be able to damage him with the same kind of magical powers, and eventually defeat him. You find the lost dog Pluto, and he licks Mickey's face non-stop. Everything around them turns black, and Mickey eventually wakes up lying in his bed as Pluto continues to lick his face. Donald enters through the window and screams at Mickey so that he and Pluto could join him and Goofy for a game of catch. The game ends where it begins, in an open field with the silhouettes of Mickey, Donald, Goofy, and Pluto having fun playing catch. It makes you wonder about the whole story of the game. Will they play their game of catch in peace? Or was everything we saw from earlier a premonition to events that are yet to happen? Is this a never-ending cycle? A time loop where Mickey and his friends are trapped in? Is it safe to assume that the old sage was there to help Mickey escape his dream, or that the dream was that of the sage's own making? Was there ever a world that was conquered and corrupted by an all-powerful emperor named Pete? Or was it the sage playing tricks, hiding in the facade of Mickey's constant rival in reality? We may never know for sure, but the ending of the story leading up to the reset of the actual game gives us an answer that is otherwise hiding in plain sight, if we allow ourselves to take that as an actual answer to the question. Regardless of if we do or not, hitting the play button literally starts everything from the very beginning, and Mickey goes through that endless nightmare all over again.